Hello, and welcome to Search for Mesh, the Slack for higher education. My name is Josh Bracy, and this is me going over my UX design and research project for my thesis. The mission, it was to provide a useful and effective search function for Mesh. The problem, I was given this assignment mid to late January, where Max said, Josh, I need you to design a search feature for Mesh. And I said, okay. So I designed an all-encompassing search feature for Mesh. It's the first main search feature that has been done for the app. To do it, I needed to understand what the users would need or want from the application. And so it's a more advanced search than you would normally need. The solution, in order to make sure that the design was delivered, met the user's needs, we needed to do user testing. I designed the test to take into account both current Mesh users as well as new ones. So I tested non-users as well as current users. This was the initial design of the search feature. It was originally called Mesh Together. It had an initial page like this. It had some page navs up here, some of these guys, which some of them got kept. There's this is the profile card and whatnot. And a lot of feedback that I got was that it needed more color, which was odd because I thought it had some color to it in comparison to the rest of the app, but you know, people want what they want. So again, in early January, I was asked to design the search. In February, I finished doing my initial research on how to do a search function and how to do it well, and I had done a first draft of the design. By the middle to the end of March, I had done my second draft and done up a test script, and then mid-April I had finished doing 2 test scripts as well as doing my user testing, and then now I have finished all of my stuff, and I'm like 90% done with a redesign based on the feedback I received in my user testing. There's a couple more little tweaks here and there, but it's pretty well done. So yeah, I started with researching and doing a design. Then I did user testing to find even more find out even better what the users wanted. More accurately, I guess would be a better way to say it. And then I analyzed the user data and I turned it into a final design based on the findings. So, search. Who is this for? These are the people that matter most. They're students and professors. And currently it's IMS students because we are testing a group of IMS students through Miami on Mesh, and we only have like 4 or 5 different classes doing it right now. So then here are my personas. These are standardized personas that Mesh uses. It's just a company given persona that we use. So this is Mike Monroe. He's a student. He's worried about being able to connect with people and not having to remember numbers and all that kind of stuff that makes a lot of the communication really complicated. This is a department head or professor, and they are more worried about how classes are going to be able to use it, honestly, and whether or not it's even worth using. So as I said, I did 2 different forms. This one, Form B, is the current users that I ran through, and this Form A, which I ran the non-users through, I did 4 current users and a current professor that's using it, and then I also did 4 non-users and 1 professor that is also not using it. The non-users are to be representative of people that are new users, where they were given a short intro to Mesh, and so it's almost as if they were just onboarded into Mesh and having to look at it for the first time kind of deal. So these are the scenarios that I went through. This is the first bit that we did. It was, having them talk about different things that they thought were necessary in search. I had them do like 5 different things, and then in the non-users, I showed them a video of the application, and then I asked them to come up with 8 to 12 now that they'd seen it. And then I did the same thing with the current users, except for I had them kind of go over, you know, ways they'd used it and what they thought about it, and then I asked them again now that they'd thought about how they'd used it and could, you know, come up with some other ways they might want to use it. So then I used a really interesting exercise that I got a lot of really valuable feedback on, that I actually learned about at a conference that I went to. It's called the $1,000 question. And basically you get like $1,000 and you have to assign X amount of money to what you think is the most important. And what ends up happening is, you know, we really figure out what people think is most important and valuable, whereas people will like list like 10 different things, but some of those things are more valuable than the other ones. So then I had them go through and I had them get work through the initial to the profile card of Jonathan Markley, which went pretty well. So as you can see, like messages by phrase was pretty popular as was searching for people. Filters was huge as far as what people wanted. So why now? Today's world is filled with different ways for us to communicate, and Mesh is looking to change that. All you need for Mesh is an email, which makes it super simple, and all I need to find anyone in Mesh is their email or their name. Like, that's it. You can also search by like class and whatnot, but that's it. You don't need to know their phone number, all sorts of stuff. It makes it super simple. So what's new? To start, filters. Lots and lots of filters. As you can see, like, I added major, connections, year, locations, files, where files are coming from, to show a person's short bio. A profile will come with a bio. So additionally, I also did a mobile version for this final design, as well as including files, groups, and messages into this design. So this is it. Like, this is an initial guy right here where nothing's been searched yet and you've selected messages. This is a results. This is a results. These two are soloed out categories. You'll also be able to select multiple categories where like this is all of them. But if you only want to groups and messages, you can do that. That's what this little plus minus is there for. So it's really whatever you want to find, however you want to find it, it'll do it. It's really great. So this is a comparison between the two. This is the new desktop version. It's kind of like an expanded version of the mobile, but still very similar to the initial desktop version as well. So as you can see, like, it's all, you know, listed the same way and whatnot. The only major difference is that the desktop will give you more information, being that there's more room to provide this information. So it'll like directly tell you what it's searching for, and like if you only want to look in a certain community, you know, or whatnot, it'll say we found X amount of results in this place, you know. So it's very specific. So just like before, where it's condensed and whatnot. And then this is the new profile card. I don't know if I did not show the other one. This is the new profile card. I got some comments about it not being colorful, it being bland. Someone said they didn't like how the profile cards were very black, and so I changed it. And I've added color everywhere, as you can see. It's super colorful. And that's all I have. It's pretty great. I'm pretty happy with where it's at, and I think it'll be pretty effective. It touched on a lot of the users' needs, and it's going to do well, I really think. Thanks, guys. If you have any feedback or whatnot, please let me know.